Ahoy hoy YouTube modeling community, it's the Lazy-Eyed Modeler here in the Woody Workshop. Okay, we're a week after the 24-hour build that occurs during the 24 hours of Daytona. And I did attempt this, and those who've seen the previous two videos know I entered it, and then I crashed and burned about 1 o'clock in the morning on Sunday morning. So let's look at what went wrong with this. And number one basically is attitude. The Thursday before, so 2 days before the build started, I woke up in the worst mood. I don't know why. I was mad at the world and just I felt bad, like ill. Although that amounted to nothing, and I was just mad at the world. And that kind of, doesn't disappear right away. So Saturday, when the build was due to start, my attitude was, well, I guess I better go do this thing. Which I may as well have done a witch doctor dance and cursed me from the get-go, because just the attitude, because of leftover from Thursday, I went into this with a bad attitude. In previous years, the first 2 years that I tried this, I went in with a very upbeat attitude. And even though I didn't finish either of them in the time period, and one of them still hasn't been finished, I still enjoyed it right up until, I realized I wouldn't be done in time. This time, went in with a bad attitude, bad planning, and that just caught up with me. Often during the time I was trying to build, from Saturday at about 12:30 till 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, Sunday morning, often I had my jaws clamped tight so badly that it hurt. There again, just showing the negative attitude, so that did not help. Attitude, if you're going to do this, if you're not up and ready to do it, don't do it, because it just jinxed me. One of the rules for the 24-hour build is that you can glue 4 parts on, and I did not do that ahead of time. So I could have, let's see here. You can see that on this kit you have to add the fender flares onto this. I should have done that ahead of time, because the rules state that you can, and I didn't. And of course, you're trying to work quickly. I got glue where I shouldn't have, and that put me back because I had to clean up my mess and stuff like that. The other thing I could have done ahead of time is here. It shows, I don't know, you can see this, but there are holes to be filled on the body. There's holes where the back bumper would go in. There's holes just under the back hatch mechanism, and there's one hole in the roof to be filled. I could have done that ahead of time. I did not. And as a result, if you're trying to work in a hurry and you're trying to fill in holes, well, it doesn't work out too well. In the end, they're not really bad. You can see, if I hold this up in the right place, you might be able to see where my finger's pointing. This is where the holes were. Now, with a little more cleaning up, I probably could get away with that. But we'll come back to that later. The two under here aren't too bad, but the sanding marks are still quite visible, unfortunately. And there's one here on the roof that's not too bad, but there again, it could certainly be better. So I jinxed myself that way. And if you're trying to, put in filler and whatnot in a hurry and get it to dry and all that type of thing, it doesn't work too well. Now, some people would be saying, well, Peter, you could have used CA glue and, baking soda or Oh heck, the rapid dryer stuff. Accelerator, sorry, that's the accelerator. Could have used that to fill in, but the problem was I didn't have any debonder here, and me and my history with super glue, cyanacrylic glue, whatever, it's not a good one, and there was no way I was messing with CA glue with no debonder around the house, or things would have gone even worse. At least I'd had the common sense to know that. But you know, if you're doing a 24-hour build and you're good with CA glue and you have, you know, you're not worried about using it, then that would be the way to go for a lot of this. Anyway, so I lost a lot of time trying to fill in and get fillers to dry and all that type of thing. And then I primed it, and the primer wasn't bad, and I thought, okay, I'll go with it. And then I put a white coat, because my original plan was, these are the decals that go with the kit. And just looking at them on the decal sheet, it probably won't show here in the video, but you could tell that they were, to me, you could tell that they were going to be transparent. Like you'd put them on, and it wouldn't be solid white. So my original plan was to build it, and so I made a photocopy of the decals, and I was going to use this for masking and whatnot. So I put primer on the body, which wasn't bad. I used this Mr. Base 1000 white. It wasn't bad. It wasn't as smooth as I would have liked, but I thought, well, I'm going to paint it white, you know, gloss white. To me, a lacquer gloss white, and you know, that'll smooth it out, and I can polish a bit and then mask. And I, you know, mix this with Mr. Color Leveling Thinner, which always works well, except during the 24-hour build where it didn't, so that was a bit of a mess. I didn't know what to do, and I decided, what the hell, I'll just go ahead and paint it red and throw the decals on. Well, I had a bit of fish-eyeing with the white, and that should have stopped me in my spot, you know, should have stopped me, but it didn't. And so I went ahead and painted the red. And even though on camera it looks pretty good, and it is, you know, I could get away with some polishing, but I did get a lot of fisheye in here and on the hood. And so it's like, okay, what do I do with that? Do I try to put more red over it? And I just couldn't decide where to go with it. And at that point it was 1/130. So I worked on the chassis, which went pretty well, except I had masked off the gas tank here, which was supposed to be semi-gloss, and the rest is flat black plus the red fenders. And the airbrush gummed up, and I didn't get a good finish. And then I decided to hand paint it. It's still not a good finish. The airbrushes, about 3 of them gummed up. I don't know what I did wrong. Gloss black came out flat black. Like, it just, everything just, it wasn't going wrong. I still say this, it goes back to the bad attitude. So now I have to decide where I want to go from here. Probably this chassis, we're going to leave it, just leave it alone. This isn't going to be a prize-winning build. We've got the interior bucket painted. I just have to mask off the door panels, such as they are, and get them painted flat black. So that's pretty much done as well as we're going to do it. There are various other parts and pieces, as you saw in the sort of intro that I did, that are on the Tamiya paint stand, that are painted either flat black or gloss black, not gloss black, semi-gloss, sort of semi-gloss black. They'll do for now. There's still a few more pieces like the little itty bitty engine to be painted. The body, I've decided after much thought that since I didn't get this done in 24 hours, I'm going to strip it, try to smooth out some of the sanding marks, give it another good cleaning, and start from scratch with white primer, gloss white paint, hopefully mask it where the decals would be going, and paint, and then paint the red over the masking to get the this as you see in the background. If you ever decide to do the 24-hour build, my recommendation would be, hey, it's a lot of fun. Most people really had a great time. I'm one of the few exceptions. But there again, like I said, I should have just let the guys know that no, I'm not doing this. I'm not in the right mindset to do this. Maybe next year. And I didn't. So we've got to, not start again, but with the body we have to start again and try to get a good finish. And hopefully in, a short amount of time we'll finish this little Honda NS360 race configuration part 2. We'll finish her up. Anyway, that's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye now.